Bitcoin is currently trading around $84,000. It had fallen to $78,200 in the morning hours. Of course, there has been a very serious downward movement for the last week. However, it should be noted that the decline seen since last night was much steeper compared to previous days. Bitcoin, which fell as low as $78,200 in the morning hours, seems to have recovered a little towards the evening and rose above $84,000. Today, as in recent days, there is actually positive news again. There has been positive news all week, but interestingly, the more positive news that came, the more Bitcoin fell. As I mentioned in the morning, the SEC withdrew from the Coinbase case. It closed its investigations into Robinhood, OpenSea, and Uniswap. Indeed, we can say that it has become a much more favorable institution to the crypto world. I've only mentioned the developments of the last week, otherwise there were many important developments before that. Of course, other cryptocurrency ETFs are also on the agenda. Solana, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Hedera. Maybe we will have a year in which all of these are accepted. We will watch and see. The positive news is not limited to the crypto world. There is also positive news in geopolitical developments. As I'm recording this video, Trump and Zelensky are together at the White House and they are making important statements. Zelensky said, "Putin started the war. He should pay your money." Trump responded, "I'm in the middle. Don't tell me. I'll get you two to agree." This is a very important sign that the peace process is underway. All that remains is for inflation to fall and the tariff crisis to be overcome. I am not going to go into the customs duty crisis again. I explained it in detail in the video this morning. There are still people who ask, is it the customs duty that is causing such a fall? Yes, it is. Let's go through it briefly. Customs duty means that the price of goods increases by the amount of the customs duty. This naturally means higher inflation. And higher inflation means that the Fed will cut interest rates later than expected. We've been talking about this for weeks and we discussed it in detail this morning, so I won't go into it further. The Fear and Greed Index has also bottomed out. Usually the importance of this index is that when the Fear and Greed Index bottoms, the price usually bottoms as well. Today we can say that the price has also bottomed. Let's explain with examples. Traditional financial markets also have a Fear and Greed Index, and the numbers there are quite close to the crypto market. Therefore, we can equate the two. The index in the traditional financial markets has fallen below 20. The crypto index has also fallen below 20. We are now at the bottom levels. Normally, even around 25-30 is seen as the extreme fear zone, but today we see that it has fallen below 20. When was the last time the Fear and Greed in crypto index was below 20? August 2024. When Japan made a surprise interest rate hike and the financial markets suffered major crashes. Bitcoin dropped as low as $49,000 at that time. Then there's 2022, during the heady days of the bear market, the Terra Luna crisis. Newcomers may not remember, but in the Terra Luna crisis, Bitcoin fell from $48,000 at the end of March 2022 to $17,000 in mid-June. In 2.5 months, it lost more than 60% of its value and saw a really serious decline. These examples show us this. When the Fear and Greed Index falls below 20, when fear peaks, the price clearly bottoms out. We don't know if the bottom here is 78,000, of course, but it is useful to see and know that we are hovering around the lows. Bitcoin price will go down to 80,000, 78,000, maybe 76,000. It's hard to predict. But we can say that we are at the bottom at these levels. I don't expect levels like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 too much. As I said in the morning, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies creep, especially Bitcoin. After falling to these levels, there may also be a 3-month period of creep. The Fed is obviously not going to cut interest rates. The US, Ukraine, and even Russia are working on a trilateral agreement. As the results of this deal start to emerge, as interest rate cuts are delayed, as interest rates stay up and inflation starts to come down slowly, the basis for the rally we expect may slowly start to build. Maybe we'll see a rally towards the end of the year, maybe in the summer. It's really hard to predict. For example, February is usually a good month for Bitcoin, but this February was very bad. We had such a bad February in 2022, And after such a bad month, I honestly don't expect March to be as bad. Even in bear markets, this is not something you see a lot. I don't think there will be another drop like the one in February. If there is, we will see the meltdown and we will have to recover. But we can't find a reason for such a sharp fall. There has to be a war, and right now there is nothing like a war. On the contrary, the big powers in the world, China, America, Russia, are trying to end wars. Yes, there is an economic war between them, but that will end when the time comes. Don't worry. It's no coincidence that the start of the Russian-Ukrainian war coincided with the bottom of the crypto and traditional financial markets and the start of the bear season. It's no coincidence that when FTX collapsed, when Terra Luna collapsed, stocks were at their lows. It doesn't seem to have much to do with crypto in general, but somehow these events affect the markets. We saw Bybit on Friday. The Bybit exchange was hacked, and the declines started on Friday last week. Bitcoin went from being around $97,000 down about $20,000 in a week. It's not directly related to the cryptocurrency world. Traditional finance doesn't fall because Bybit was hacked. But when traditional finance falls, crypto is affected. Crypto doesn't affect the world, but the world affects crypto. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why it's good to be a little bit calm, to stay on the spectator side. Bitcoin creeps, but when the rally starts, all those who said, "I'm not coming back, this is over," start coming back one by one. Looking at my notes, we had PCE, personal consumption expenditures data today. We forgot about it. PCE came in as expected. Headline PCE was expected to come in at 2.5% on an annualized basis, and it did. Core PCE was expected to come in at 2.6%, and it did. For the first time since September, personal consumption expenditures started to fall on an annualized basis. This is very important and good news. It's partly responsible for Bitcoin taking a breather and going up. But what's really important is that core inflation is back on a downward trend. We've gone from 2.4% to 3%. I'm talking about CPI in the US. That needs to go down again, and I think interest rates need to stay high for a while. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's very important for us. Thank you very much.